I forgot to go live. I just hit it, like. All right. Hey guys, what's happening? Let's do this again. This is the second time I've done this. I was thought I hit the go live, but I did not. Welcome in here, folks. Thank you very much for being here, hanging out Publicly Buzzed Live on a Thursday night. We are going over today again the Brian Smith trial that's coming out of Alaska. This thing has been interesting. It's been hard to keep up with a lot of the details, but today I'm going to try to do my best. I've got 3 articles here from AlaskaNewsSource.com that does a really good job, rather. And then we have someone in the gallery, someone that's actually been live tweeting and doing a very good job of it, Texas Deanna Joe. We're going to be looking at her Twitter feed and getting caught up on this. Again, please share this out. Let people know that you're hanging out here tonight. Like it. We're coming at you.
Let's rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here. What is going on? Publicly Buzzed Live is actually live and on the air now. Yeah, I did a little bit of an introduction before, but luckily I didn't do a 10-minute show. I've done that in the past, and with a guest, actually. We did that when we had Dago on once. We had a long-ass, I think it was like 15 minutes before we were like, holy shit, we're not live. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it, guys. Like I said in the intro, like this, share it out, let people know that you're hanging out here tonight. We are going over and giving you the best updates that we can. It's been rough. This is a hard trial to stay on top of, as you guys know, that was watching with Jay. It's difficult. It's not the best system that they got set up there. I don't know what they're dealing with in Alaska, but apparently it's the worst technology ever because the feed keeps dropping quite often. But we're going to be going over a lot of that here tonight. I got Dan backstage, about to bring him in right now. Boom. What's up, dude?
Are we live?
I think we're live. I think we're actually live.
Hey.
He's not drinking. Son of a bitch. Get a beer in this man right now.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, dude?
I don't know. I was running through X just now. As you call it, Twitter. I don't know where that comes from, but
X, yeah.
I was running through X just now, and yeah. I don't know. Just having a gander.
Oh.
It's all right.
Well, you can see a lot of interesting things on X, that's for sure.
Actually, I am going to mention what I saw.
All right.
It was a old Keystone out there talking shit about Jordans.
Oh, shit. The shoe?
Because
that's random.
The guy that was arrested at the Kansas City shooting that happened.
Yeah.
He was wearing Jordans.
Oh, shit.
Can't trust a man with Jordans on.
Damn, is Keystone in here calling out a man in Jordans?
But I had to reply because I wear Jordans. Now I don't wear
Jordan's
the type of Jordans.
A nice shoe.
I don't wear the type of Jordans that this man was wearing. I think those are actually very ugly. I wear the A1s. If anyone knows about Jordan
I don't know
shoes.
enough about shoes to give you a name, but
I wear the classics.
I'm a Puma man.
I wear the classics. The ones that Jordan wore, basically the ones that Jordan wore when he played basketball. That he probably got. I think he got fined for them even. It's basically the exact same style as those. The mid top, like they're not the high top, they're not the low top.
I'm not a high top guy. Yeah. I'm a mid guy.
The mids are like they're also a little too high. Like they're not as easy to slip on as the, just a regular low shoe.
Yeah.
I love the fit, dude. I love how they look.
I've had a pair of Jordans, and I don't think it was a brand new one. I think they were off from the thrift store, but they were fucking nice then. So after being used,
I used to wear poor man shoes all my life.
Oh, dude, our entire lives.
And the first time I was able to get like a decent shoe, I bought a pair of Air Force One Nikes, and they lasted so long. I was so impressed that that's all I've ever bought since. Like, dude, I mean, we wore Walmart shoes, Kmart shoes, and they lasted a year, maybe if you're lucky, right? They would get tore up quick.
Yeah.
And I bought a pair of Air Force Ones, dude. 3-4 years, they were still fucking tip top shape. I was like, this is impressive. So I've never went back.
I don't blame you, dude. That's actually why I'm in the Pumas. Like, why I kind of got stuck on the Puma because I had I'm going to say this, multiple pairs of good Pumas. Like, the first pair was fucking awesome. I was like, I'll give these another shot.
Too. Yeah.
Never left the Puma.
They look good. I've had Adidas, and I've had like the
Adidas was cool too. I did go through Adidas phase.
The fanciest shoes I've ever owned were K-Swiss was my first pair actually, and they were decent. They actually lasted a long time too.
K-Swiss, yeah.
And then I did Adidas, and then when I did fucking Nike, I never turned back. I've only worn Nike since.
Nike, man, and again Jordan specifically.
Oh, Viv actually brings up a great point. They are very narrow. Same here. You just got to wear them in. You wear them for a couple weeks and they break in.
Break them in, yeah. That's almost true for any shoe, honestly, dude.
When I get a brand new pair of Jordans, for example, they rub against the outside of my foot real bad. Mm-hmm. Like it's
I hate
the first couple of weeks or so.
Yeah,
they do that, but once they're broke in, like they don't stop, man. They'll get wrinkly, they'll start looking old, but they don't give out. Like you could wear those bitches forever.
Yeah, dude. Nice pair of shoes. Actually, you can, some of them are a lot of the Nikes and Jordans can get absolutely outrageous in price. But when you get a nice pair, that's for. I mean, they last, dude. Like it's not.
What do you want to do?
You see you understand where the money's kind of going in some of them.
Do you want to pay $30 or $40 every year, or do you want to pay $100 and it lasts 3, 4, 5 years?
That's a good point. Yeah,
or longer. I mean,
yeah. Usually,
I've actually never had a pair of Nikes break down so bad that they were unwearable. I just stopped wearing them because they were so old.
You're like, I'm done with this. I need some new ones.
Yeah, I got some new ones. I got some new kicks.
Cammy Q getting in here, becoming a member. Welcome to Buzzed and Confused. Welcome back, I should say. I know she's been in here before. Cammy, absolutely love you. Thank you. Let me give you some. Give me some love. Hell yeah. Welcome in, everybody. I'm glad everyone's hanging and banging. I see beers in the chat coming out also. A lot of new names in here also. Welcome in, guys. And then Jersey Jen is going to gift out one to... Wait. Gifted a membership. Loner Amber was gifted. Loner Amber. Bam. Welcome in here. I read that weird. I also got one for her that I haven't played in a minute.
Amber is the color of your energy.
I hear Birkenstocks are good. My wife wears Birkenstock sandals, so... as far as I know, they're good. Like they still look pretty good, and she's had them for years.
Rocking the what are Jordans? Half skateboarding shoe, half boot.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. They do kind of look like that. But I mean,
the hot
Jordans
tops.
were. I mean, I don't think the skateboarding shoes look like that in the '90s when they were created.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Maybe they did. I don't know. Like because my reference for skateboarding shoes is like high school. The fucking like the DCs and the which they're fat. They're fat shoes. Like,
yeah,
I remember that they look like fat. Like you had a fat.
I know
foot.
exactly what you're. That's the best way to describe it. Actually, a fat shoe because of how wide it is. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
But and then of course people skateboarded in the old Chucks, right? The All-Star Chucks. You know the canvas shoes?
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm talking about?
yeah.
They were All-Star, right? Is that what they were
I
called?
think that's
All-Star?
what was on the tongue of them. Wasn't it All-Star?
All-Star Chuck.
I think that's what was on the
I'm
tongue
not
of them.
crazy.
Was,
I could
was
be crazy.
All-Star.
Yeah, that's it. Converse. Converse. Is what they
Converse,
were.
yeah. But All-Star was
Um,
on there, right?
Which Nike,
Well,
yes,
I
it
was
was. Yeah.
envisioning that in my head, anyways.
And then I think Nike bought out them eventually.
Got these people. Sky Crew, Sweet Lou, Pokemon coming through. Holly Berry going to gift one out, and Lamom James is going to pick it up. Get in here, Lamom James.
This place is dead anyway, man.
Love it. So tomorrow night we're having a Feral Friday, Dan. Last week was absolute madness.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little wild last Friday, guys.
We just had a party, man.
It was
We had a party.
we were going to watch episode 6 of Twin Peaks and it turned into a party. So tomorrow night, I don't know what the hell's going on. We're going to fill it out. We'll see what happens.
Never know.
Tonight, though,
That's
let me
what's
get in
feral.
here. I've got a couple of things. Let me see. All right, I'm going to start out with this article actually from Alaska News Source. Do people need to learn how to die? That's a quote from Brian Smith. Jury watches woman's death by Brian Smith murder trial. Now, Monday, last time we talked about this, anybody that hasn't been able to keep close on this, they did end up letting the jury and they didn't let the gallery see the video, but they could hear the audio. But the jury got to see this video.
It's still brutal.
Which would be absolutely, yeah. And even the audio alone, but God, I would hate that.
So
bad for
and
the jurors.
I know you're about to get into this, but I just want to preface. So the video absolutely shows the murder itself.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, she's. I really can't honestly say that because I haven't seen it. But I mean, from everything that's been said
from the
in this,
description, yeah,
it starts and she still is alive in this video, and we're gonna watch this. I think it pretty much describes it in here, but yeah, she's alive and beaten badly, and then it basically, I think it goes until she's dead in the video. Though I think he kills her on the video.
That's brutal.
It's horrible, dude. Let me, Mooney's also, hold on. Let me, before we get started, I want to make sure we get everybody. Mooney, bam! B Rabbit just grabs one of these. Damn. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mooney. Love it. Mooney's new in here. Been awesome coming through on all these shows. Love it. Love it. All new folks are amazing. As we dive in here, again, trigger warning, guys. This one is really, really dark. I'm gonna start off by actually just reading this to you guys. We'll watch the video. Monday afternoon in an Anchorage courtroom, a jury saw what prosecutors said was the last 35 minutes of a woman's life. The videos show her being strangled to death. She's obviously already been severely beaten by the point in the videos are taken, and she's been being tortured and played with while she's dying. Judge Kevin Saxby said before the jury entered the courtroom, Saxby said that just the jurors would see the video. In addition to being robbed of her life, she's being robbed of her dignity. There are 39 images and 12 videos on an SD card. Shows what Anchorage police say is the murder of 30-year-old Kathleen Jo Henry. One of the two Alaskan Native women Brian Smith is accused of murdering between 2007 and 2019. Smith was arrested on homicide charges over 4 years ago and faces 14 counts, including first and second degree murder. Smith's murder trial began again last week. After his arrest for Henry's murder, police say Henry confessed to shooting 53-year-old Veronica Balchuk. And we get into that too. Today we've been getting into, the last 2 days we've been getting deeper into the interrogation footage. And it is one of the strangest interrogations I've ever seen in my life. It starts out as you would normally think. He's coming back from Washington. They get him at the Anchorage airport. They do the interrogation in a side room in the airport. When they pull him in, he thinks that they're talking about his truck window being broken out. He thinks that's what this is about. So, some stuff being stolen out of his truck. They're like, no, this is a little bit more serious than that. As they continue down the path of what we know, right? What the information that happened in that hotel room. This is before he's ever said anything about a Balchuk. He's basically denying it. He's saying, I don't, playing around. And then all of a sudden he starts to, because they start to show him this is absolutely you. This is your voice. And they start to kind of put it together for him. And he starts to just admit it. He starts to say, yeah. But he can't put it together. It's almost like he's talking as if, you know how they do this is an evil part of me. This was the bad, the bad version of me.
I saw where he has said
Bad
that
Brian.
if I did this, I don't remember it.
Right. Quote, that basically is the best quote for the interrogation. And then we get a little bit deeper and it changes again. It's a strange one. The homicide's gained national attention because it's crazy. I don't know why it hasn't gotten even bigger than it is currently, honestly. Maybe it's because the footage is so hard to watch and get. I know Court TV's trying.
What I found, what immediately piqued my interest about this case is not just the what happened. It's that apparently there's a history of abuse to these women from Alaska, right?
Yeah.
These
These
indigenous
native women.
people, yeah. Which is I want to know more about that. Actually, I want to know like what is this history, because I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know the deep history of it either.
It.
And actually, getting a little bit more into this, you see a lot of people mentioning it and talking about it. But I would like to kind of get a little bit more information about the deep history of the abuse that's happening within these natives within Alaska.
So are a lot of these women poor and they're they're drug addicts, prostitutes?
Well, one thing that
that's just a
came to my
question.
attention early into this was these communities, a lot of time with the native people, if someone gets a vice like drinking or they become getting a drug habit, they get kicked out of that community. So then they end up on the streets.
So then they're just alone
in Alaska. So it's an extremely sad situation, honestly. But yeah, I would like to learn a little bit more about the depths of this, because it seems like these women, and I'm sure men and children even, become easy prey in Alaska, because if you have nowhere else to go, especially in the situation with Brian Smith, when he gets a Balchuk into his house, he just picks her up like you want a warm place to sleep tonight, right? And that one gets incredibly
easy
dark.
prey.
But you're right,
Horrible.
man. I mean, there's something dark going on here. Even though the large monitor faced away from the gallery, everyone in court, including Smith's wife and the families of Henry and Abalchuk, could hear the voices in audio. I didn't know that his wife was in there. Okay, yeah. Interesting. On the stand, Detective Brandon Lee with the Anchorage Police Department described the content of the videos before the jurors were allowed to watch them. Smith asked, "Do people need to learn how to die these days?" The quotes in this are crazy. Smith watched while the videos played, his hands clasped in his lap. One juror took notes while the rest remained fixated on the monitor, seldom turning away from the unsettling images. Meanwhile, Smith's wife, Stephanie Bisland, watched the prosecution and the family of the victims look down. At this time, you'll see some blood dripping out of Henry's mouth, Lee testified. Lee testified that Smith would touch Henry's genitals and breasts, at points strangling her. Henry's breath audibly heavy and labored. At one point, the man identified as Smith sang "Thunderstruck" by AC/DC while he strangled Henry. In another video, the man makes Henry hit herself with her own hand. Lee told the jury, as a man kicks Henry's stomach and vagina, he says, "You're alive, you live, you die, you live, you die," over and over again, and finishes with, "Sadly, in my movies, everyone dies." Just after 1 o'clock, Lee was dismissed. The defense reported Smith would be cross-examined at this time. A second witness, Captain Bianca Cross, with Alaska Police Department, Anchorage Police Department Homicide Unit, told the jury how Smith confessed to killing Abalchuk. I believe he said she was a native female. She was a nice person. Cross told the jury, and I believe he made a comment about her hairstyle. Cross said the hairstyle sounded familiar, and when she presented she presented photos of the three possible victims to Smith, all missing Alaska Native women, goes back to this being a regular freaking thing, he selected Abalchuk. So he did remember her. And the way he actually, we're going to watch this video up here. It's just a little brief.
Sounds like a fucking psychopath.
Dude, it's crazy. In some of these quotes, and we'll see some of this again. I'm just going to show her Twitter here so we can follow Texas Deanna Joe, because she's all over this. I'm going to kind of go through this, but she did a great job of like putting in some quotes here. And dude, they're all fucking insane. Like, and again, it's the demeanor of him in the interrogation the entire time, and then after he already discloses and admits to killing Henry in the hotel room, they ask him, have you killed anybody else? Do you want to admit? Do you have anything else to tell us? He's like, no, I don't think so. And then they go use the bathroom, and as they're taking him to the bathroom, that's when he's like, well, I'm going to make you famous. And then he gives up another one. I mean, it's crazy. But but yeah, this video gives a little bit more information as well. Let me get the sound her.
Played for jurors this afternoon in the murder trial. The sounds of a dying woman. That's what prosecutors say they played for jurors this afternoon in the murder trial of Brian Smith. Rebecca Paulser joins us now with details of a very disturbing day in court.
And Brian Smith is on trial for killing two women, Kathleen Jo Henry and Veronica Abowchuk. But we can't show you any of the videos jurors saw today because the court limited who could see the images, and we've decided not to air any of the disturbing audio as well. But while listening to the audio in court, family members
why would you want to show it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I couldn't imagine, dude.
I don't think
the
that's
audio alone would be terrible.
I don't think that's made for television. Yeah,
often look to the floor.
Yeah, that's that's a weird thing to kind of say. We're not going to show this to you, okay?
Well, she said, we're not allowed to show it to you, and then she said, and we chose not to let you hear the audio. So.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah. I mean, you would also choose not to see the video. This is some gruesome stuff. Like, this is shit that would be on Live Leak.
Oh, dude, yeah, 100%. Yeah,
you're never gonna be able to view this on any normal platform. Maybe X is kind of crazy, like pretty free with stuff. But
yeah.
Like, this is never gonna be uploaded to YouTube. This is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Like, X now is actually pretty crazy with some real life death stuff. Like,
yeah, they're pretty free form. Like,
they get pretty wild.
They kind of let stuff go. I mean, that's kind of the point.
That is the point. Yeah.
Floor and cried. The accused occasionally took notes, but mostly sat with his hands folded in his lap.
Look at this guy. This is how he was watching it. Like, he's watching it.
Yeah, like,
he's reliving it. Like,
that's what I
fuck,
wonder.
dude.
Like, is he getting pleasure out of this?
Dude.
Like, I would like to see even a muted version of just his reactions to the tape, right? Like, no audio, just a camera on his face, see how he is reacting.
I know, dude. That would be super interesting.
Is he loving this? Because if he truly is like, maybe I did this, I don't remember. What would his reaction be if you thought that, right?
If he truly didn't remember, right?
He would be disgusted or something.
Yeah,
there would be some reaction other than staring or happy, whatever he may be.
Yeah, he will say stuff in the interrogation along the lines of I can't see myself doing this, or I can't envision this, or I can't, or something's blocking my memory, or he's really trying to, at least for a second, he's trying to play that card of there's a bad Brian and a good Brian, right? You can feel that vibe of it.
Yeah,
I would like to see
what was his full reaction.
Yeah, I would like to see if he's truly. I think even be more interesting if he's actually alone in a room and they just start playing it, right? And I'd see his reaction.
Also though, I can actually kind of see if we imagine for a second that somebody truly was so delusional that they were able to commit a crime without knowing it. Would you pay attention intently to see, like, was that me?
Yeah, I mean,
just for devil's advocate.
What would be fucking nuts is if you're truly, like, you're honest to God, don't really remember. You start to watch it and you see yourself.
Yeah,
that would be crazy. Like, if you're honest to God for whatever reason, you have whatever that is.
Hear yourself. Yeah,
that would be nuts. And the voice is so distinct. Like,
yeah, he can't pull out of this one,
dude.
No chance.
Allegedly showing Kathleen Henry's last moments. Jurors initially watched the 12 videos and dozens of still images that were allegedly taken from Smith's phone. An Anchorage detective described what was being played before the jury watched. Another, how Smith later allegedly confessed to the second murder of Abowchuk.
In this one, he continues to strangle Henry and telling her she needs to finish this movie. He makes a comment that asking, do people need to be taught how to die these days? Tells her to take one for the team.
At some point during the interview, did Mr. Smith admit to killing a second person?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And did he actually know the identity of this person?
He did not give her name. However, he identified her via photo.
And Smith's attorney chose not to cross-examine Detective Lee today, but reserved the right to question the detective later at this trial. His questions for Captain Cross were about whether the proper procedures were followed when Smith was asked to identify a photo.
That's a good point, Mandy. BTK, thinking back to that, it did seem like he was like truly paying attention. Like,
yeah, he was
intently paying attention. Like,
yeah. He's even, like she said, correcting like mistakes that they were making.
Right.
But he was already
he was weird. Fuck.
He was already like fully like
right.
committed.
Yeah. And I think I played it or made a video or something. But yeah, when he's truly breaking down every one of them, just like, oh no, you guys had this one. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like it's so fucking eerie.
Tomorrow,
his trial was a confession, basically. He's telling you what happened.
Expects to play what it calls Smith's confession, and what the defense contends were just unclear comments from a fatigued man who was being badgered by detectives. Mike.
All right, thanks, Rebecca.
I wish that there was, because every one of these are like 2 minutes long. The stories are pretty good though. So this is the next day. This is the 13th here. Let me get in here. Jurors watched the recording of a 2019 multi-hour police interrogation with Brian Smith murder trial resumed on Tuesday. Smith is on trial for murdering two women. Kathleen Jo Henry and Veronica Balchuk, more than 4 years ago. It's been a minute. Like that, the interrogation's from October of 2019, 4.5 years ago. Shortly after he became a suspect in the murder of Henry, Anchorage police learned Smith was in Washington, D.C. with his family. When he unexpectedly flew back to Anchorage on October 8th, 2019, homicide detectives met him and took him into a room at the airport. And that's where this interrogation happens. At first, Smith did not understand that the purpose of the interrogation was related to a murder investigation, telling detectives he thought they might be talking to him about a theft he had reported from his Ford Ranger. But as the questioning continued, the detectives made clear they were interested in something far more serious. They showed Smith photos of a bruised and beaten woman and played a short audio recording of the woman moaning. The photos and audio were from photos and videos taken from Smith's phone, which was stolen from his truck by someone who spent an afternoon with him. Jurors saw those graphic videos and photos during Monday's court session. When detectives showed Smith more and more photos and shared what they knew about his past actions and whereabouts, Smith repeatedly said things like, "I don't remember, I do not remember this, I don't remember this girl, and if I did this, I do not remember." Later, when detectives showed him more photos and told Smith that they did not believe his claims of memory loss, he conceded at one point how a particular photo appeared to show him and Henry. "I don't remember the face. I don't remember. That's my truck. That's my truck. That's my voice. That looks like my shoes. I wear jeans usually. It looks like jeans in the picture," Smith told investigators during the interview. Honestly, I do not. I've got a blank. If that's me, I've got a total blank. Something is blocking this out of my mind." What's interesting about this part, I am going to say, when he, in the interrogation, he's saying all this, he's like, he's disassociated from it. When he starts talking about a Balchuk later, he remembers her face. He remembers the entire night. He remembers it all. He remembers the entire event detailed. So it almost is like he's like, whatever, there's no excuse, but whatever happened this night at the hotel, some kind of fucking demon unleashed, if he's being honest here. I mean, who fucking knows?
Well, it's very odd to, like, he's full on admitting, yeah, that's my this, that's my that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like I said, it's one of the most.
He's not denying anything.
Dude, it's right. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, when he starts seeing more and more stuff that's unrefutable, he's like, well, yeah, but I don't remember. But dude, I mean, you have to think about, okay, so all this is going on, and right before they go use the bathroom in this interrogation, they say, have you killed anybody else? Have you ever done this before? And he says, I don't think so. And then it wasn't 5 minutes later, I'm going to make you guys famous, saying something again, kind of off the wall of these guys,
It feels like he might be a little bit crazy. But maybe he's really good at playing it up. But I just don't think so. I don't think anybody's really that good. Because, I mean, if you think about it, a normal person is going to be denying every step of the way. That's not my pants. That's not my boots. That's not this. That's not my voice. That's not. But he's admitting, he's like, yeah, that's my stuff. That's all
making sense. It's all lining up. It's
so
crazy, dude.
It's very unusual.
And I would like to see, the whole thing is truly unusual. Like,
I would like to see some sort of psychologist or someone who is an expert at breaking this kind of stuff down to analyze that and talk about it, because I'd like to know what they say.
Yeah, dude. I'm so intrigued by the human brain. Like the
Because
more
I
and
haven't-
more.
I haven't seen this before. I haven't seen somebody just like openly, like they I guess they're presenting their innocence, but they're also admitting to everything that's being presented to them at the same time.
Right. Like yeah, it's strange, dude. It's a fucking weird one, man. Let me get back where I was here. The detectives that continue
Preserving
to
their innocence. I don't know if I said the right word there.
to bore into inconsistencies in his memory failures, and he continued to say he could not remember specifics until at one point Smith admitted one photo showed a body in the back of his truck. So here it gets a little bit weird, right? Because Smith said he just coincidentally found it there and then panicked and dumped it alongside the railroad tracks near 6 Mile Creek off the Seaward Highway. So, I mean, he's really still not admitting, honestly, to this murder. Flat out, I mean, because he admits to getting rid of the
on video makes sense.
Admits to getting rid of the body. He admits to having the body in his truck. He admits to finding it there. But about Chuck, he just gave it that story. I picked her up. I was going to have sex with her. She smelled bad on the couch. I told her to take a shower. It pissed me off. I went and got a gun. I shot her. He just says that nonchalantly. But this, he can't wrap his head around this one. It's fucking nuts, dude.
That is
like,
crazy.
Why would you not call? A reasonable person would call the police and say, hey, I found a dead body, Detective Brendan Lee said to Smith. What they wouldn't do is wait 2 days, keep the dead body in the back of their car, drive it home, park it in the driveway, and take it out to a spot and dump only the body over the guardrail, but take the other stuff that's with her he dumped her belongings in different locations. What does that look like? And then take pictures of her in the back of the truck. He also did. He took pictures of her in the back of the truck. And then he says, I know, stammered Smith. I was the only person there when I dumped her. Your question was, what would somebody do? Normally I would guess, what the hell? I'm going to call the police, Smith added. Okay, but this time you didn't. Why? The pressed the detective. Because I have been with a girl, and if I have to bring this up, it would come up, and my wife would find out I had slept with somebody. Smith's wife was in the courtroom Tuesday as the relatives of the two victims were there as well. But yeah, let's watch the video on this one. Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
In an Anchorage courtroom today, heard an accused murderer try to explain photos and video taken from his phone that prosecutors say show the murder of Kathleen Henry. Today, prosecutors played hours of a police interrogation of Smith from October of 2019, just after Smith became a suspect in Henry's murder. Detectives confronted Smith with photos and audio that prosecutors say proves Smith murdered Henry in the hotel room. Smith repeated over and over again, no matter what image he was shown, that he couldn't remember. At times, he conceded that the audio sounded like him and that the shoes looked like his, but that something might be blocking his memory. But then Smith told them a strange story, that on the same day, he found a dead body in the back of his truck.
What would a reasonable person who's never had any contact with the law, as far as I know, right? Never had any negative contact with the law. There's video there that would explain it, right? If somebody put that body in the back of your truck, why would you not call it? A reasonable person would call the police and say, hey, I found a dead body. What they wouldn't do is wait 2 days, keep the dead body in the back of their car, drive it home, park it in the driveway, and then take it out to a spot and not only dump the body over the guardrail, but take the other stuff that's with her to a different place. What does that look like? And then take pictures of her in the back of your truck. Yeah. So nobody else could have done that.
I know. I'm not. I was the only person there when I dumped her. That's. Your question was, what would somebody do? Normally, I would guess. Just what the hell? I'd run from the police.
Okay, but this time you didn't. Why?
Because I had been with a girl. And if I had to bring this up, it would come out and my wife would find out that I'd slept with somebody.
Prosecutors will continue playing the 2019 police interrogation of Smith tomorrow as the trial continues over the next few weeks. You can watch the...
Now I'm going to go into...
Was that tomorrow, meaning today?
That was going to go in... I got one more. Yeah, that was
Okay.
Yeah, that was for Valentine's. That was
Leading
a
into
Wednesday.
today.
So what I'm going to go here is, right here,
Because
Texas.
they don't do trials on Fridays, right?
Right. Yeah, I guess they're out tomorrow. Texas Deanna Jo has been there the last 2 days, live and in person, live tweeting. So I've got some stuff I'm going to go through here. I'm just going to start reading through here, and we can figure out where we're at. I got one more video to show too. At one point, asked in the interrogation, when asked the hypothetical question, what would you do if someone had done this to your sister or loved one? Smith replies passionately, "Oh, I would kill them. I would kill someone if they did this to my sister." Let's see here.
Actually, scroll up. What was that? Oh, never mind.
Looking down through here, I'm trying to see some of the ones I remembered right off.
Is it? I mean, they did make a good point though.
What was that?
If this guy would have gotten an attorney, they would have never had a confession.
100%. No, absolutely good point. Like another, I mean, I don't know what the hell he was thinking during this basically entire investigation. Smith proffers statistics on how many pedestrian deaths are caused by drunk drivers. He respects the police and has been trying to make it a point not to drink and drive anymore. At the beginning of this thing was, and as any police would do in an interrogation, they basically trying to make you trust them, right? Like,
I do hope everyone knows in here, and I'm just going to reiterate if you don't. If you're in an interrogation room, if you're being questioned by the police in a room by yourself, you and a detective or 2 police officers, ask for a lawyer, because they have to end the interview immediately, and they have to get you a lawyer.
Yeah.
They can't ask any more questions. As soon as you say the words, "I want a lawyer." So if you're ever in that situation, ask for a lawyer.
Let me see. Smith has thus far maintained that he cannot remember.
It's surprising how many people don't know that, honestly.
Yeah, people are crazy. So remember the night of the video, I might have been high on something. Detective 1, high on adrenaline? Just having killed someone with your bare hands, he asked Smith. Paraphrasing here, if there are 2 girls standing on the side of the road, obviously you're going to pick the pretty one up, not the ugly one. I remember Smith saying that. He says, "Are you going to take me off to prison?" And yes. And have you ever killed anyone else? No, I don't think so. Back and forth a few times with Smith continuing to deny committing any of the murders. And then I think she missed the part where they actually, which I'm not sure if that was recorded, because they had went to the bathroom when supposedly had said that. And I didn't hear that either when I was listening yesterday. But again, I was doing some other things as well. Oh,
wow. She's giving all the details. Okay.
There's a lot of details in here. And again, go follow Texas Deanna Jo.
Very good.
Again, fairly lengthy sidebar. Yeah, there was a lot going on here. And she corrected this earlier. She was getting the judge's name wrong, and I have it written here. Let me get that correct. The judge's name is Saxby. And then when she noticed, she actually, no, she got it right there. Maybe she got it wrong later. I remember she was apologizing earlier, but she got it right in this one. That was yesterday.
Do you remember what she was saying it was?
I don't. Well, we'll be over there in a minute, but I don't remember right off. These are long days of tweets. Like, these are really, really intricate and crazy. There it was. Are you guys in such a hurry to leave?
Good point, Loner and Amber. Don't be very assertive when you ask for a lawyer. Don't say, "I think I need one." Say, "I want a lawyer."
I need a lawyer. I need a lawyer right now. Are you guys in such a hurry to leave? Y'all did good cop, bad cop, and I appreciate everything you've done for me, but also I shot the other girl in the eye, he says. She was really drunk and slurring and everything. He took her home, but decided there was a high risk of her vomiting or stinking up the place like a dirty homeless person. He tried to get her to take a shower, but she refused. He then pulled out a pistol, threatening to shoot her if she didn't get up and take a shower. Again, she refused, and he shot her. So again, once he gets into this, he's just giving details about this entire event. Prior, the entire questioning about the hotel murder of Henry, he's just like, what? Like, I can't believe this. Smith also admits he took He both took and distributed photos of her after he had shot her, sharing them with his S&M girlfriend, Alicia Youngblood. Is that implicating someone else? What the hell? I feel really guilty about that lady. She was really sweet. The only thing she ever did to me was stink and refuse to shower. Smith has a map and is now showing the detectives, she calls them the dicks, the detectives the location where he dumped her body. He would periodically drive to the dump site and say he thought she had been found because he couldn't see the tarp anymore. He was in the South African military from 89 to 90. All these pictures of this girl are really disgusting. They're grossing me out. Again, she's seeing that in the actual courtroom. He distributed her clothes at intervals along the way to a dump site. Yeah, well, I guess I did put my fingers inside her after shooting her in the head. It gets pretty dark. Like, again, he did sexual stuff after both ladies were dead. He admits to this one. Smith now explaining ways to make a body decompose faster. Now, this part I'd actually tagged Chris Dewitt on because I was like, does this sound like something that somebody that's not killed anybody before or killed even two people would say? He says, poke holes in it so that the insects can have more points of access than just the mouth and the anus. That's a pretty crazy thing to say.
That is interesting.
Hoping that he could do
but yeah, it's interesting.
Just do one murder and get his aggression and anger out, but then never had to worry about it again.
Did you get a reply?
Huh?
Did you get a reply?
Oh yeah. He did reply. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said possibly. He did. I remember he was kind of like, that's a crazy thing to say. It was being my mentions there, but yeah, I think he was along the lines of. I think he is along the lines with the guy that could definitely be a serial killer. Honestly, like there could be a lot more. 99% of homeless people are native.
That vibe,
quote from Smith. Dude, 100%. And Jay nailed it, I think, with the Long Island serial killer vibe. Like, what made me angry with her was she was smelling. Detectives show him several photos, ask if he can identify the woman he shot. Smith just keeps repeating how she was really a nice lady, a sweet person, older lady, really nice. He parked outside overnight with the body still in his truck bed. The detectives leaves, then someone with the AST, maybe the cyber department, I'm unclear, comes into the interrogation room. He picks up where the detectives left off, and Smith continues to ramble incoherently. It's completely wild the way he nonchalantly repeating she was on the couch, but she was stinking so badly and she wouldn't get up to take a shower. It pissed me off a little bit. So yeah, he's just kind of, I guess, going over this multiple times. He explains that in 2017,
she was for sure a prostitute, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. The story goes, but she was also very drunk, heavily intoxicated. He asked her if she wants a warm place to stay. So I mean, it's kind of blurry there too. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's almost like it wasn't even a sexual proposition,
right? Yeah, like I'm not 100% sure that she. Yeah, like I'm not sure that maybe I don't know. Honest to God, yeah, maybe a prostitute is not the right word there at all. Because from my understanding,
she may have been a prostitute, but this wasn't
that type of situation.
Exchange.
She may, yeah, dude,
or an expected sexual exchange, especially if he's like, "Hey, you know what? You need a warm place to sleep tonight? You know,
right?
Come to my place or something like that."
Yeah, dude.
Which, if you're homeless, if you're sleeping in tents, like if she's like the other woman, then why not? Why wouldn't you take somebody up on that?
And Smith, also like Rex, has an extensive gun collection.
Oh, wow.
Trooper asks if Smith will drive with him to show him the dump site.
Did this guy have like a home? Like what do we know his situation?
Yeah.
Financial
a wife
situation,
and a home.
His like where did he work? Anything like that?
He worked at the hotel where the murder happened.
Wow, as what?
Good question. I'm not sure what he did there, but yeah, he worked there. He had a home there. He had a wife. He had just become a U.S. citizen, though, like legally, but he had lived in Alaska for a while.
I did know that part. So he was telling her he had a warm place to stay, and that was a hotel room. Right?
No, that was his house. He killed her in his house.
Oh, it was his house?
Yeah, dude. They came and took up a giant piece of carpet that they found the blood on.
Was his wife home?
I don't guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Kids? Do the kids live?
I don't know, but I haven't heard anything about children. So
wow. I suddenly have a lot of questions. Like I honestly didn't realize I honestly hadn't started to think about his life situation until
maintenance.
Right now.
There we go. There's Deanna.
He was maintenance. Okay. So he was a kind of a janitor type. So he's probably not making a ton of money.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is. It's crazy. But yeah,
Depends on the
follow
type of maintenance,
Deanna
though.
Robinson
Unless
again,
he was
Texas Deanna Jo.
Unless he was like an electrician or, I mean, he could have been making decent money. Honestly, who knows?
The wife is hanging out in the courtroom, Mandy. She's there.
She hasn't abandoned him, huh? Or
that I'm not 100% sure of. In 2019, she was still on his side. Do you know that, Deanna? If she's on his side now, is she sitting on his side?
Yeah. So I was gonna say, or she's wanting to watch him go down.
Or yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't heard any new details on her since 2019.
It's just so crazy, man. Like I can't. It's so hard to put yourself into like a mindset of like something like this. It's so weird to me. Like this guy had a wife, a home in Alaska, had a job, and then somehow he ends up murdering women, taking in prostitutes, I guess, or taking. I mean, I just want. I want way more history. Like,
yeah, same MO though as almost any serial killer, right? You're getting people that no one's probably going to miss.
I wonder if he has a history of picking up women, right? And he didn't do anything to
These
them.
women disappear all the time. Yeah.
Like
that's a good question.
He kind of built his way up to it, or
that's all the questions I've had. Dude.
One night,
I want to know not only in Alaska, but what the fuck is going on in South Africa, where they're probably not looking into anything. Like,
what do you mean?
Like where he's from. Like, I don't think that he's just randomly started killing in Alaska.
Oh, maybe he. Okay, yeah.
I mean, serial killers usually start in their 20s, in their early 20s.
How long he's lived in the United States? How many years?
I'm not exactly sure how long he'd lived in Alaska. I know he'd been there for multiple years, and he'd just become a citizen, but I'm not sure how long exactly.
And I know we mentioned this before, but I know you have to have lived in the United States at least 3 years.
You mentioned that last time.
To become a citizen.
So at least he was there for 3 years.
Well, he could have been there his whole life.
Well, the YouTube channel goes back to early teens, and it's right there at that same house.
He could have immigrated there when he was like 5 years old, for all we know.
True. Go back in here real quick. But the beginning of the interrogation, and again, still it's hours long, so long, and again, Deanna did an insane job breaking this down on Twitter. Just kind of looking through here real quick.
I think that's a very good question to ask, though. Like, I would like to know when he got here, because you're right. He could have, if he's only been here for 5 years, 10 years. Who knows what he may have done in?
I know, dude.
His previous residence.
Yeah, dude. All right, so I want to play. Wait a minute. Actually, I want to. Hold on. What was it?
I said it's a very good question.
Yeah, man.
How long has he been here? And he may have not always even been in Alaska. He may have lived somewhere else in the United States.
He was visiting Washington, D.C. I know he'd visited there multiple times.
Well, he probably had to for...
Oh, yeah, exactly. Immigration stuff. That's true.
Yeah,
that's
for immigration and to get his to be, become a U.S. citizen.
All right, I got another video here to show you guys. I'm going to read through the article real quick. Brian Smith told Anchorage police detectives over and over during an interrogation in October 2019 that he could not remember the details. But then after more than 5 hours of questions, when it seemed the interrogation had finished, Smith remembered a blockbuster detail. During a bathroom break, again, we just read that. That's when he discloses a murder. And actually admitting to this one, Smith hinted that there were other crimes he had committed. When the question resumed with detectives, he then detailed how he had picked up a woman outside a grocery store, brought her home for sex, but then grew angry because she smelled bad. When she refused to shower, he told detectives he killed her. The interaction and the others were played on Wednesday for the jurors. While watching the interrogation footage, jurors mostly kept their eyes down. It's crazy. This is
2019 police interrogation
So,
accused murderer.
Deanna mentioned that as an adult, he was in the South African military.
Yeah, in 89 to 90. Yeah, Deanna did tweet that.
So as
That's right.
as an adult, he was in South Africa.
Yeah, that's right.
Brian Smith told detectives how a woman he picked up near a grocery store and planned to have sexual relations with angered him when she passed out at his home. The jury watched the remainder of the multi-hour interrogation in an Anchorage courtroom today, and they saw Smith, near the end, after it seemed the interrogation was nearly over, admit that while he didn't remember every detail, he did shoot Veronica Abowchuk after she refused a specific demand.
I don't remember, I can't visualize this girl, but I went to the garage and I got my little pistol there. I said to her, go shower, and she wouldn't, and I just did it.
While she was on the couch?
Yeah, I just shot her.
So right there, he's not saying I don't remember it. He's saying I did it.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, this one he's just giving it up. Like
there was no.
So the recorded murder, he doesn't remember.
Right.
But this one, he knows he did.
This one he just gave up. They didn't even ask him. They didn't have anything on this lady. They had actually messed up the lady's identity with someone else previously. Like, he actually cleared stuff up with this. Like,
this is crazy. Why are we?
The messed up thing, I can tell you honestly, there was no emotion now. That was just, you're not listening to me, go shower, you're not.
And Smith's attorney finally got a chance to cross-examine the detective who presented that interrogation evidence. Smith never clearly stated at any point, according to the detective, that he murdered Kathleen Jo Henry, the other victim in this case. The prosecution continues its case tomorrow morning.
so that is why we're in the situation we're in now and while this trial is happening, because he's not admitting to killing Kathleen, but did admit to killing Veronica. Like, it's crazy. It's fucking, it really doesn't even make any fucking sense, dude. Like, it's wild. But yeah, tomorrow, I guess they're not doing anything tomorrow, are they, Deanna? They're out on Fridays in Alaska there. So are you going back on Monday? I know this is supposed to last for multiple weeks, so I think we still got a little bit of time left, probably. See, he pretty much realizes he is going to fry his words, so then he wants to tell the story about Veronica. That really still doesn't make sense to me, though. That doesn't make sense. Like if he knew he was going to fry, he would just, like, why would he, like, admit to one that he's not admitting to one that he doesn't actually remember? Like, it's silly. Like, it's like, I don't know. I said on Twitter, he's a fucking psychopath, first of all. Like, it's hard to... But I would like to get way more detailed information about what's going on inside of his head, which is something we really can't do. Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Understand.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand. So he has a non-guilty plea, right? Not guilty. If he truly believed he didn't do it, then I can understand that. But he's a murderer still. He's an admitted murderer.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't want to be known for killing this person that he didn't kill. But he self-admittedly says that's my
Maybe
boy.
it's because it's so barbaric and on video, right? The other one, he's just giving you the story. I shot her in the head. It was quick. This one, he tortured her to death. Like, maybe it's that part of it. He doesn't want that to be on his name. I don't get the logic either way, but I mean, that's the only slight bit of maybe.
I don't understand.
FOFA coming through. Smith first arrived in the U.S. in 2014 on a K-1 visa, foreign finances of American citizen visa.
Well, a K-1 is a fiance visa.
So he met the lady somehow, whether she came to South Africa or whatever, and that's how he got to, I guess, Alaska, right?
Yeah.
Marrying who would become his wife. Yeah, the homeless native population in Anchorage is so vulnerable.
I guess maybe K-1s can be classified as other things. I don't know. I know for a fact it's a fiance visa, though.
He He also posted hundreds of replies to questions about stuff.
Purely fiance, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he said fine. Stevie said
I fucked up the word.
I see now.
Yeah.
I see now.
I got it.
Said finance, and then I was like, "What?"
It's fiance.
It's fiance. yeah.
Calm down. I'm out of water.
Stevie and words.
You should see every time I spell it. Every single time I have to Google it to get the correct the way it's written. Yeah, I don't think anybody but this Alaska website is streaming it, and it's not great, honestly. It's real hard to keep up with. The tweets with Deanna is the best. Like, she freaking is killing it all day long. I'm going to go ahead and put her Twitter in here. Make sure you've given her the old follow on the tweet machine. Because, yeah, that's been the best information that I've gotten thus far. You know, I am watching and keeping up with it during the day. That's also hard, you know, of course, with work, but trying to. But her notes have been incredible.
Smith is married to a former immigration agent from Alaska.
Whoa. Interesting.
That's even crazier. Wow, dude. An immigration agent. So somebody that works for the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, I think is what they're called. I was trying to figure out the acronym, but it's USCIS, right?
Is the reason.
United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Anyway, that's insane. That's crazy.
That is insane.
I wonder if they got if he got the if he got like fast tracked because they work there.
That would be interesting. Yeah, did he get any kind of special treatment because of that? Yeah.
Well, currently, I'm not going to go into that. Never mind. Former administrative officer at U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Service, Anchorage, who has also worked as a former personal staffing specialist. So, yeah. Worked for USCIS.
Wow.
Interesting.
I mean, hell, if he did prey on his wife.
Online game.
Yeah, I'd like to know how that initially happened. Like, who reached out to who first? Did he get any kind of information online that she was working with immigration? And he's like, I'm going to work my way in here. Would it be that manipulative? You know what I mean? And then that's wild. Man.
ICE is like the department that like does the deportations, right?
I think so. Yeah.
What does ICE stand for? That's customs and that's immigration and customs enforcement.
Yeah,
that's a different thing. Immigration, like coming in, is USCIS. ICE is the people who kick you the fuck out.
What? Is that real, Strickland? He met her on an online game?
That's crazy.
That would be crazy.
2013.
Oh, shit. No, Deanna says that's real. What? So he met her on an online game. Like they're playing online together.
Probably a little Call of Duty.
And then probably finds out
Second
she's
Life, maybe.
In Alaska and works as an immigration agent. I'm just throwing shit out here.
World of Warcraft.
And let's just say he's in South Africa murking people. Okay, let's just say that. And then they meet on this game, and then he said, and then the wheels start spinning, right?
There's a little manipulation going.
I need to get to another country, and here's my out. And not only am I getting to another country, it's fucking America. And not only is it America, it's Alaska.
Not only am I getting to another country, but I have the perfect person to get me there, an actual agent of immigration. That's fucking crazy.
That is crazy. Wow.
Like he had the best chances in the world to get here. She was probably working his paperwork. That has to be a conflict of interest. There has to be some sort of like guideline or rule book in place that disallows something like that to happen. But you know what? There probably isn't.
Yeah, I'm trying to sit here and I'm almost thinking like with what you're saying, is it like I almost feel like they couldn't because
you shouldn't be able to work your own case. Right?
That's the bottom line. Like you shouldn't be able to. Yeah, that even if they're getting together and she's in immigration, she shouldn't be the one handling it.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was trying to think of. Because I'm sitting here and thinking like I don't think they could really do anything.
Like the same, it shouldn't even be the same office. There should be no chance that your friends.
Yeah. I do see what you're saying.
Your case, yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. No, that makes a lot of sense.
But there's no guarantee that that's a thing, right?
Yeah. And I mean, there's also, it's easy to manipulate that, just by literally lying and not saying anything potentially.
You're already in. You're
already in here.
You'd be like, hey, can you do me a favor? Check this. Can you look at this application before anybody else real quick for me?
Let me
see. Can you do me a favor?
Okay, yeah, here we go. We got something here. Mandy sent this. Let me get the camera over here. Hold on.
Lady
okay.
Imported a serial killer, potentially.
This is a random website. Durban love link to Alaska killing suspect. This week, Stephanie Blisland, the wife of South African Brian Smith, who has been accused of brutally murdering 2 women in Anchorage, Alaska, spoke to the Independent of Saturday about how the couple came to know each other and how a story of true love turned to heartbreak. Smith, 48, who grew up in Queenstown, was arrested on October the 8th and is being held pending trial on 13 counts, including murder in the first degree, tampering with physical evidence. These counts were in connection with the murders of Kathleen Henry and Abelchek. He was arrested after an Anchorage resident found an SD card on the street. It was titled Homicide at Midtown Marriott. Blues musician Blisland, here we go, 69, said she and Smith met through online gaming in February of 2013 and Skyped together for the first time in March of 2013. That was quick. We then knew our real life names and began to talk about things other than games. We also became Facebook friends, so we learned about each other, sharing posts and pictures. We continued to get to know each other more. With time difference, we Skyped twice a day. Sometimes our sessions were hours. Smith tried to get a visa to work in the U.S. so he could visit his new girlfriend, Stephanie, in Alaska, but the restrictions were too tight. Blisland said that in July of 2013, Smith proposed to her on Skype, and she said yes and planned her first trip to South Africa so they could meet face-to-face. I first saw him rushing over to me in the Durban airport. We were both excited and happy and not awkward at all. The next day we drove to, I'm going to butcher that name, Escort. I know that's terrible. And stayed in the guest house he managed.
I think he did a good job.
He proposed again on his knee. The couple shared their first proper date in a local steakhouse on the day she arrived. We sat close and talked. The management didn't kick us out at closing and left us alone talking until cleanup was done and the smiling staff were going home. I think they saw something special was happening with us. Okay. Staying at the guest house, Blisland said they...
Well, lovebirds.
Look at these two. This is meant to be. Let's leave them alone. Give me the mop. Blisland said they spent the holiday visiting nearby places, sharing a picnic next to a fire at Wagden Drift Dam and having dinner in Nottingham Road. When they drove back to Durban, Blisland said Smith bought her a token engagement ring before she left. Got it out of a Cracker Jack box. In September of 2013, Blisland...
How romantic.
Petitioned...
What a fucking... Like, that's straight out of a rom-com, right?
Here's your part. In September of 2013, Blisland petitioned for a visa for her fiancé, and Smith arrived in the U.S. In March of 2014. There, the couple were targeted.
How long was that? September to March. That's a very short period of time.
So short.
Wow.
Treated to an engagement party by Blisland's best friend before sightseeing in Atlanta and Washington. Smith proposed again and gave her his mother's De Beers flower-shaped engagement ring, and they were married. Man, that all happened so fast. On May 17, 2014, Brian took care of me. He was a clever man. He was proud of my accomplishments. He loved to pull pranks on me and laughed like a kid at his jokes. He had a good work ethic. He was an open, pleasant, normal person, she said, adding that Smith would often surprise her with generous gifts, such as a book or a violin she may have mentioned in passing.
Sweetheart.
He sounds like a sweetheart. She described Smith as enjoying woodwork, fixing electronics for resale, hiking and being outdoors, as well as photography. How we know he likes photography.
This sounds like the perfect guy to me right now.
For Blisland, it was just...
I wish I was like that.
It was just a simple togetherness, which remains her favorite memory of those heady romantic days. Together, they made a greenhouse from a pile of windows. He helped her to make props for a stage play she was involved in. They ate sandwiches and talked while sitting at the side of a mountain and swimming with him in the ocean in Hawaii and South Africa.
This is a movie. She's describing.
Jesus Christ. In February 2016, the couple visited South Africa so Blisland could get to know his family and friends better. They traveled from Johannesburg to tour around the Southern Cape to Smith's hometown of Queenstown, as well as East London, where he had lived and worked. We had us, Tom Malone in the route, visited the Kango Caves, animal reserves, historic sites. It's a fairy tale. But instead, this year, Smith will stand trial.
And here's where things start.
Yeah. He's going to stand trial. Blisland said on learning of his arrest, I was horrified and could not believe it.
So there's no in between. It's like blissful happiness to I was horrified he's on a murder trial.
And he was murking people all those years. I believe
that's
that.
Fucking
dude.
insane.
I believe that. It is.
Like the way she tells it is we had a amazing, happy life, and then all of a sudden, murder. What?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
But
I mean, it. I guess there's kind of parallels to the Long Island Killer, right? To list Long Island serial killer there, but I'm not. I'm going to throw this out here right now. I'm not sure. The list killer's wife was so oblivious. You know what I mean? Like I don't think she was super oblivious to what was going on. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
This woman also. Who knows? I'm not going to throw out. As far as we know, she had no idea. It's just the only thing. There should have been signs. There should have been something. Well, he was a truck driver, though, wasn't he? Was he a truck driver?
I
thought I heard that.
He drove a truck, but I don't think he was a truck driver.
Okay, so he wouldn't have been gone like long periods of time.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
not to my knowledge. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
A huge gun collection, in my opinion, isn't a red flag.
I don't think that's a red flag in Alaska.
I don't think it's a red flag, period, in America. But, like, being missing for long periods of time, like saying you're going to Walmart, or I don't know what the equivalent in Anchorage, Alaska is.
Well, think about a regular situation of him not coming home for the night, or him bringing.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's gone for long periods of time.
Or bringing a homeless lady home, and like, where is his wife then?
In the house. And
that is a good question. Yeah.
Like that. I'm not saying. I mean, I don't want to make any accusations here, but like, we got to fill in the gaps. The wife needs to speak more about. The
only thing I've ever seen is the 2019 interview with her. I've never heard anything else implemented towards her whatsoever, honestly.
Well, she should have been able to recognize a little bit more odd behavior based on what we just said. Long nights out, possibly bringing people home, which I would assume if he's doing that, maybe he's not doing it while she's there. He worked at a hotel, so he could have potentially been taking women to that hotel while he was working, maybe, right? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's definitely plausibility that she like was oblivious, or maybe she was like willfully oblivious, like she was ignoring.
That's a thing for sure in people, right? People definitely know that their significant other, and I'm not going to go all the way out with murder. Let's just say cheating. There's 100% significant others know that their person is doing some shitty stuff. And they just put that in the back of their head. They just want to keep going about their daily life to keep stuff going. Murder is a big difference than just cheating, But, dude, we've seen some wild-ass true crime cases where it seems like that's what happens in sometimes. Like, people will literally disassociate themselves from the actual real situation just so they can live obliviously through this facade of, fake Facebook post. And my life is fine. My life is good.
Yeah, Mandy's saying body in a truck. Like, how do you not?
Exactly. 2 days, body in the truck. It don't make no fucking sense.
How do you not?
Exactly. That's a damn good point. Like, maybe she worked at night and was gone when he brought them home.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of
possible things.
All we can do is speculate on that.
That's all we're doing is speculating.
Yeah,
for sure.
We can't make any real determination there.
Yeah.
It's just.
It makes you think. Any normal person, and I mean, if you're having an honest conversation, your head will
It's odd.
100% go there. Like it just is what it is.
I mean, the same thing with Rex. Like at first, when Rex got arrested, I was like, "Oh, this poor woman."
100%.
I was like, "Wait a second, like how did she fucking not know?" Like
But when you get more and more of the details in the story
coming out,
yeah. And then I mean, that one only gets deeper. That's true, man.
This may be the same situation. We don't know yet.
We don't know that at all.
We're still
I
on the
mean-
fucking surface. We haven't.
Well, here's the thing: we're never going to find out because they're not digging any deeper. They're not digging any deeper at all.
Yeah. Well, that does suck. Like there could be a lot more to this guy, and we may never know.
That's what sucks. That's what I've been talking about this whole time. I feel like that they're just gonna. This is what we got. We can get rid of him. We can put him away. But I mean, there's probably other victims out there, dude. I mean, the story of when they found a bow check and they cleared up another murder of someone that had her license on them. Like, that's messy in itself. Like, so I don't know, man.
Oh, there are Walmarts. I wasn't sure.
We have Walmarts.
Anchorage is like the biggest city in Alaska, so I assume there's Walmarts there. When I think of Alaska, my only reference, honestly, is me and Stevie both have a mutual friend that was stationed in Alaska in the Navy, and he lived in it was a town of like 30 people.
Yeah,
wasn't it like insanely small? It was like a tiny village.
Yeah, he was on like it sounded crazy.
Really my only reference.
That's me too. I've actually referenced that while doing this case. Like I'm like, God, I knew a guy that was stationed there. He was in the Coast Guard, and
yeah, but I mean, we looked it up
pictures
recently. Anchorage is like 200,000 people. It's a huge city.
Yeah. He was like, I don't remember where he was, but it was like almost like a little island or something. Like
it was tiny.
Super tiny. Like they had to do everything. Like they were the only people on the island too. I think it was just military, wasn't it?
I swear it was like 30 people. Maybe it was like 300, but still, it was like it was crazy small. It was so small. And that again, that's really my only personal reference.
And
they didn't have a Walmart.
They didn't have shit, dude. They had to do every single thing. That sounded miserable. He lived there for years too, multiple years.
Yeah.
Then he got to go to Hawaii though. So.
Super badass. He should honestly be president.
Maybe it was worth
one
it.
day.
He's still in the fucking Coast Guard. Been in the Coast Guard for fucking 20 years now. Not really, but it's been a while. But it's been 15.
Is he still in the Coast Guard?
Yeah, he's gonna retire.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, he's still doing
Damn,
it.
he's making that money.
Yeah, dude. He's killing it.
Yeah, he was stationed in Alaska and then Japan, I think, for a period of time. And then
I think he's in last I heard
Hawaii.
he was here somewhere.
He was
but yeah.
married in Hawaii, I believe.
Yeah. He's had some interesting spots.
Oh, dude, he killed life, man. He fucking he went out and just did stuff.
He did. He's like, I'm gonna go conquer this son of a bitch.
He treated life like he's still like it was still like the 1930s or some shit. Like he went out and just explored and fucking like did real man things. Like not like
real man things. Yeah.
We stayed in the same town we were born in, and we never left. And we just tried to find the closest job we could that paid the best money, and that's where we're at now still.
No, he really is a different beast.
He fucking killed, dude.
All right, tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what's going on, but please show up. 9:00 here on YouTube. Feral Friday is going to start, and then at 9:30 we're going to move over to Kick for God only knows
Man,
what.
Who knows what's going to happen?
If you missed last week, folks, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
I mean, if you ever, Stevie said it perfectly actually in a tweet. If you need to wind down from the week, why are you not on our show on a Friday night on Kick? Because we wind down. If there's any definition of winding down, it is our show. From this nonsense, this craziness, this constant violence and just nightmarish stuff that we read about and watch all week long. We have an hour and a half, 2 hour show.
Yeah,
we can decompress.
Yeah, last week went deep. Like last week was a classic Feral Friday. I've heard people say it was one of their favorite shows ever. I've heard that.
Oh, really?
I've heard that.
Had a good time.
I'm telling you like it is, baby.
I've heard that people enjoyed it.
Oh, come on now. Dandy Savage shows up every Feral Friday. That has become a gimmick. That has become a gimmick.
Night, Karen. You better be there tomorrow night. Yeah. Dandy Savage comes in on Friday, and then he rolls out at the end of the show on Friday. I don't see him for a week.
Yep. Every Friday. Only on Fridays. Now, I'm not going to say, he will never show up on another show. It's very possible he could show up on a Thursday or I only do Thursdays and Fridays, but regardless. I'm not saying he's constricted to Fridays, but so far that's how it's been.
Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face. Why the fuck you do that? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
That's what I meant to hit. Yeah, guys, please, tomorrow night, come through. I know Jay's got a big day. He's doing a lot of stuff tomorrow. He's got some interviews going on. I think he's also streaming a little bit, so make sure you're hanging out with Jay tomorrow. I think I'm going to get you a portal to Jay here tonight. Let me set that up right now.
Deanna, I looked it up, and it was 288. So, yeah, very close to 300.
Where is my guy at?
Where's your boy?
Here we go.
Has he got a stream tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going to send you to the interview, actually. He's got multiple streams. He's got multiple streams tomorrow. I'm going to send you to this one. Yeah. He's interviewing, Insider View with Jared Ross, Dan Markle's friend, and Charlie Adelson's high school classmate. That should be fucking crazy, actually. So, yeah, make sure you hang out over there tomorrow. I'll probably be seeing you guys in the chat. Otherwise, tomorrow night, Feral Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube, right before we go to Kick. Guys, if you're not on Kick, again, get on Kick. I'm going to post the link in there just in case there's anybody in here lurking that is not over there yet. You can get that easily through your app store, whether that's on Android or iPhone. Pop in Kick, search it, or on your computer.
Be there.
Be there. Do it, folks. Love you guys. Have a great Friday. We're going into this weekend. Deanna, again, thank you so much for all the work you're putting in on this. Amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so
Crazy.
much.
You basically made tonight's show even possible. So thank you very much. Love you guys. Let's get the hell. You got anything else, Dan?
No, nothing.
Love you guys. See you tomorrow night.